Hi everyone, thanks for joining me in this journal with me video, and I'm very sorry that I didn't manage to upload this video on Monday or Tuesday like I promised in my unboxing video, which is the previous video of this, because I sort of have a throat infection and I totally lost my voice. I really am. There's no voice or no sound coming out from me at all, but I'm all okay now, so that's why I can do this voiceover. And let's just start. So here, as you can see, I'm taking out some watercolor tools, and here I'm showing you my watercolor palettes that I have. I think I did mention in my previous videos that I do not paint. It's not that I do not paint, I do not know how to paint, but I love watercolor palettes for some reason. They look so pretty and I like to use them as background. And also sometimes when I use those stamps that has just outlines, and if I just stamp them on, I will be able to use watercolor to fill them in. So that's as much I can do with watercolor. So here I'm just putting down some backgrounds. I will wet the pages first, and then I'll just take the colors and sort of let it blend into the pages and create those pattern, very gorgeous pattern as a background. And this can or tin is actually a vintage tin I bought online. So it's a cigarette tin. It's Piccoli, I don't know, company cigarettes. Yep. And I absolutely love it. It's vintage and it's gorgeous and it's just absolutely perfect to use it as your watercolor palettes can or tin. So here I'm just trying to create some vintage background, and at the start of my video you can see that the stamp that I took out is this newly released stamp from Tim Holtz. I think it's in cooperation with Halloween, but it has this skeleton anatomy type of stamp, and I love that. I love anatomy stamps, so I bought it, and today I'm going to be using that as my main theme. So while I wait for that background to dry up, here I'm taking out this stamp. Like I said just now, it's the newly released Tim Holtz stamp, Human Anatomy, and I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna stamp down this skeleton structure stamp on this onion skin paper. Now I'm not sure whether you're aware, if you use onion skin paper, there actually difference between the sides of the paper. One side I think is more glossy, the other side is more mated. So I usually stamp on the mated part because glossy, I think the stamp won't, the ink won't dry up so easily. I think it won't dry up totally at all, because I did try before to stamp on the glossy side and it just won't dry fully, unless I think you use stands on stamp pad. Yep. And this is what I'm using now, the jet black ink. So I am going to just put this down on the onion skin paper. The acrylic block is from Tim Holtz as well. So I'm just stamping it down nicely. Ensure that every bit of it is on the paper. There we go. I love how this turns out because it looks so vintage, and I don't know, something, would you call it eerie? It's not eerie, I mean it's like scientific vintage theme, I guess. And here, oops, I knocked on my tripod. Here my insert is dried, and I'm just gonna put it down. So I felt that it's a bit bare at the back, so I'm going to take another type of paper to create some background or collage to the spread. I'm just measuring the size of the paper and then I'm going to cut it with my Tim Holtz scissor. Am I a fan of Tim Holtz? I think I am. I have tons of Tim Holtz products. I can't get them like in one go because they're so expensive, and you know, adding the delivery charges together is like, oh my goodness. So I actually collected all these products over the years. Yep. So I'm happy at where I want to put them, and I'm just gonna glue them down. And of course, if you watch my previous unboxing video, I'm so in love with this new travel notebook that I got. It's a Starbucks Reserve Roastery TN, and I've actually moved in. I set it up and I did a video on it as well. So I'm gonna be sharing that video with you guys. Maybe end of today is already Friday, so next week. Yeah, I still need to find the time to do the voiceover as well. Yeah, but since I promised a journal with me video this week, so I'm gonna upload this first, and next up would be the setup of my Starbucks notebook. I really love that. Absolutely gorgeous. My favorite TN. So I'm gonna be putting everything down with my glue stick. And next up, I will be, what will I do? I mean, what did I do? Washi tape. So I'm going to put down this classic-y vintage type washi tape. First up is the blue washi tape. It's the skinnier blue washi tape. And then I'm going to put down this brown grit washi tape. It's also the skinnier version. Next up, I'm going to be using this classic-y letterpress note paper. I'm also a big fan of classic-y products. They're absolutely gorgeous. They fitted my vintage theme very well. So I'm going to be using this anatomy stamp again. It's from My Paper Projects. Yep. I love it that it has wording at the side or at the bottom or even at the top of the stamp. I think it gives the stamp a little bit more character. Yep. So I'm going to use this test on it's a sort of a brown color stamp. I think it's called ganache. Is it? I can't remember, but you know, everything will be, all the supplies I'm using will be in my pinned comment down below within 24 hours after this video is up. I'm very sorry because I really can't update the comments like after I upload it, because even with uploading in its time, yeah, so normally I'll just put my phone down somewhere else and I'm gonna do my work, and when I come back it's all done, then only I can update my comment. And here I'm using this Tombow glue stick. I finished it actually by now, the whole thing. It's pretty small and yeah, not a lot of glue tape inside, but I still prefer my EcoSpin. Quality wise, the monetary wise is more economical. And here I'm gonna be stamping this upper body anatomy stamp on my right side spread. This one looks a little bit scary. Yep. This, it has no eyelids, so it's like the stamp, it kept looking at you. Yep. So I'm gonna put down this stamp on my spread directly. At first I wanted to create a mini collage like I always do. I think that's my style. But then I felt that, you know, it looks better if it's directly on my spread. So I'm going to be using my Onsi Black VersaFine ink pad to stamp down this stamp. Voila! And next up I will be stamping this. First I'm going to put a washi first. Again, the blue color classic-y washi tape. And of course the brown grit washi tape. And next up, I am going to put down this frame stamp again from Tim Holtz. I think I want to put in the date. And my memory really sucks. Even though I did this like last week or so, this spread, I can't really remember what I did exactly, you know, until the video shows what I'm doing, then I'll be able to remember. So the next step is the frame stamp. So I'm just trying to figure out the best place to put that stamp, and I want to do it on this glass ink paper or transparent paper or tracing paper. Yep. And definitely you have to use StazOn for this. I think StazOn is my favorite ink pad to stamp on any surface that is not paper. I will use it on paper, but because it bleeds through quite a bit, or it shadows a lot, so normally on paper I'll just use my VersaFine. But on other surface other than paper, it's StazOn. It works absolutely perfect and it dries up, and yeah. So here I'm going to use my Cavallini & Co. Alpha and number stamp to stamp down the date. Now I'm way behind, so this is like on the, what day is it? I can't remember. 12, is it? Oh, it's 17. Yep. But I pre-recorded this quite some time ago. When I have the time, I'll record it, but then I need time to do voiceover, so normally it will take a while before I can actually post it in my channel. And I try to keep it like once every week I have one video up. Yep. And at first I decided, I wanted to use the tearing effect, but then thinking, well, I want to be nice today, so I'm gonna cut it out nicely, the frame with the date. Yep. And I'm gonna glue them down. So I glue it down. And I sort of have it in between the page so that, you can see the continuity between the two pages. And I have this punch out pointing or gesture shape, so I'm going to glue that down as well. There we go. And next up, of course, the distress. I think I used the vintage photo. Oh, I used this new one, the what? Frill Burlap. I hope I pronounced it correctly. So I'm just going to distress around the edges as well as the middle of the book, because it's a bit too white, the paper, and yeah, the vintage look does not feel too normal or too smooth. So I just distress it a little bit so it can blend in the watercolor better. Well, I am just going to distress around the pages. Yep. I actually have the half a mind to actually pause to complete this process, but then I think some of you might want to see how I actually distress it. So if I pause all the time, I think this will defeat the purpose of the journal with me, right? Unless something that will take up a huge amount of time, which I do not really want on my video, as that will make my video too long and boring, I guess. So I try to cut it around 15 minutes, all of my video. But this one is like 17 minutes because of this distressing, I guess. Yep. Here you can see I'm distressing the middle as well. And then that's it. This is my completed spread. I'm very happy at how it turns out. I really love it. And I accidentally dropped my distress ink pad on my spread, but I think it's okay. It's just like a marking there. I think it is actually pretty cool. So thank you guys very much for watching and all your lovely comments, and I really appreciate it. I like to share my journal with everyone who loves to watch journal with me like I do, to get inspiration. And of course, for me, it's to distress as well. It somehow gives me the peace of mind when I'm journaling, or the peace in my mind. So thank you guys for watching and take care. Bye.